Alright guys, got another video for you. Filming in my bathroom, if you really must know, because it has the best light, because it's dark and everywhere else is just dim lamps. So, Hordes Update. Here is a half painted Gator Man. The paints that I've used so far, this is about halfway through, is this is Catachan green with a green wash, and the back plates here is Orchid shade with a Badab black wash. The wood is, I believe, Graveyard Earth. That's about halfway through. I'll explain the painting process with my next model, which is this one. It's another one of the Gator Men, a different pose. And normally what I've done for almost all of the Gator Men, because that last one you just saw is a bit older, I decided to paint him using darker colours. But normally what I do is, this is painted Narlock green and then given a green wash and then dry brush Narlock green again. I think that turns out quite well. This is Orchid shade and then black wash and then Orchid shade dry brush. The wood on the pole arm is Graveyard Earth, Devil Mud wash. The rope is bleach bone, Devil Mud wash, so it looks all nasty and grimy. The bone is just the trinkets here are all just bleach bone, as are the teeth. The eyes are blazing orange, then golden yellow, then sunburst yellow, then a tiny Sakura micron pen and a gloss varnish. The metal is made to look all rusty. It is bolt gun metal painted all over, dry brushed. Then then bestial brown, because it's sort of got an orangey tinge to it, and then blazing orange for the actual proper sort of orange colour to it. And then I dry brush bleached bone here to give it the sort of pale gator look. Yep, that's it for that one. Let's have a look at another couple of models. Here's one where I tried to do blood all over him. So there's blood on the halberd. He's still not fully painted because there's some green and some paint on the staff polearm thing. But I got some blood in the mouth. It's all glossed varnished, so it looks fresh and wet. He's got his necklace, which is all bone. I think it's snakebite leather for the string there. Again, the eyes is orange, then sunburst, then golden yellow, then sunburst, and a Sakura micron pen gloss varnish. Used a lot more gloss varnish on this, obviously, for the face. The blood is red gore, I think, or maybe scab red. Now, as I explained, I got the deep bases that arrived, and they're a bit deeper, and this is what I intend to do with them. I got some straw scenery, which is, I think it's made out of hair, and basically just glue that, clip it, glue it in with some PVA. I painted the bottom. I think it was a mix of Necron Abyss and Orchid shade, and I'm not sure. I think because the liquid mask, the realistic water from Hobby Scenics, I think is the company, dries clear. I'm thinking of adding something to it to make it cloudy and fill up the rest, but I haven't quite got the mixture or the amount right. I don't know if you can see this, but there's some striping on the tail, because you actually get that with alligators. Yep, so that's him. I think the base looks quite realistic. I've just got to get the murkiness of the water right, and that should be good to go. Here is my light war beast, the bull snapper, all painted up for you. He was quite interesting to paint. I used a lot of different colours than I normally did. He's obviously in a different style to the others as well. The scales are, let's see, I think it's Catachan green or Camo green. I think it's Catachan. Followed by Narlock green after a Threcker green wash, and then I dry brush just a little bit of rotting flesh around the edges so that it blends just a little bit better into this. And this is Commando Kakai, bleach bone dry brush down the centre of it to highlight in it, and rotting flesh on the sides to blend it into the green better. This green on the fin, this bright green, is Narlock green, and then I think I used Scorpion green or possibly Goblin green, and then washed it to tone it all down again. The bottom here is all bleach bone, and the tongue was done using dwarf flesh and then a lot of bow red wash and then a gloss varnish to finish. The teeth are bubonic brown, Devlin mud, bleach bone highlight, and the eyes are still the same. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Yeah, almost. There we go. And that's got a gloss varnish on it as well. Toes, the nails are bleach bone as well, I think. The rock was Adeptus Battle Grey and then Astronomicon Grey dry brush and highlighting. And that's the bull snapper. And now on to something different, so I wouldn't get bored of painting scales. Here is the Thralg, or Thralg, or Thralg, or I think one guy pronounces it as the Thralg, or something. People say it looks like, I don't know, something out of World of Warcraft, but I don't play it, so I wouldn't know. He's got the spine. The purple is Hormagaunt purple, Leviathan purple wash, and then Lich purple dry brush and highlight. The inside of the tentacles and all the wet look, so also on the feet here, where the webbing is, that is all purple ink, which my store still has, because it's in the UAE, so it doesn't get quite as much attention. The eyes are Hawk Turquoise Ice Blue, I believe, and a little bit of white mixed in. Teeth are Astronomicon Grey. It was quite a quirky model. This grey is, I think it was Codex, then Wash, then Fortress, then Wash, then Fortress again. Or it may have been Astronomicon, not quite sure. And finally on to my pièce de résistance is Barnabas, Bloody Barnabas. And he was very fun to paint actually. What's annoying is that I got that one drop of paint on the leather cowl, but I'll fix that. But basically this is just bestial brown with several layers of wash and highlights. His skin, originally was going to go with the darker skin, but then I didn't think it looked very good. So I basically used the same painting technique as I did on the first one that I mentioned, but then I went and used rotting flesh and that blended in with a Narlock green as well. So I ended up with a very light looking, sort of old, weathered look. His teeth are actually the darkest bone coloured things on the model. They are bubonic brown and they've got some blood on them. His axe head is sort of all tattered and weathered, and he's got a blood stain on it from where he obviously hacked someone up. That's got a gloss varnish on it. There's a glow coming off the symbol on his axe, which I did, which was quite tricky. The bandages are all sort of soaked and weathered. The skulls, normally skulls are painted white, but I thought because they're so old and they would have been in the dirty, murky swamp water with him, that they would have got all stained, so that's why they're all sort of yellow looking. He's got a pocket full of bones, bandages hanging all over him. He's standing on some skulls there. He's got like shells and bone lining the bottom of his coat. He's got some stitching, some bird skulls. I did the leather a little different here to show that there's a different shade of leather. I'm really proud of the mouth on this guy. See if I can get that in focus. Clearly having some trouble. There we go. And that is Scab Red, and then a Bow Red wash, and then some red gore. So some of it looks like it's old stained blood, some is fresh. Gives it a different kind of mix, quite interesting. I did some patchwork on his shoulder here because crocodiles that tend to have like different sort of like bits of black and green all over them. So I thought I'd add that in. The nails are almost all of the, basically all of the bones that aren't his teeth are a bubonic brown and then a bubonic brown bleach bone mix, which I made quite a while back. Different shades of wood, which I used different shades of brown and different levels of wash on. I think it all turned out quite well. Tell me what you guys think. That's pretty much it for this report. Hopefully going to end up with a Grey Knight battle report this weekend against my Nids. That's going to be challenging for me because Nids obviously suffer. So I'll see you around, guys. Would you bring